Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Harshad Dilip Surana. I am a consultant interventional cardiologist. I have completed my cardiology from Bangalore and being practicing in Bangalore and Dhule. I am being done cardiology from Apollo Hospital. I am attached there. Even I practice in Apollo Clinic, and I am being attached to Mahavir Jain and even to the hospitals like Seva Hospital and Nirame Hospital, which is in Dhule. I practice at these places. Today on World's Heart Day, I am here to tell you some tips to keep your heart healthy. There are just 5 tips. If you follow that, you will have a healthy heart. First is exercise, that is walk. Everybody at least should do 30 minutes of walk daily. If he is not able to do daily, at least you should do 5 days in a week. Along this keeps the heart healthy. Along with this, you can even do yoga and meditation. The second thing is nutrition. Everybody of us should have a diet which should be low in fat and low in carbohydrate, and it should be high in protein. This is the diet which I follow and I tell everybody of you to follow. Next is habit. Yes, we should not smoke. Even I don't smoke. Smoking is a very injurious to health, as everybody of you know. So we should not smoke and no tobacco. This is the third thing which we should follow. Fourth point is stress. Yes, in today's life, everybody of us has stress. We have stress busters, but we should try to avoid them. How we can avoid them is we should engage ourselves in the activities which make us de-stress. Like I usually like to play. So whenever I get stressed, I usually start playing. Like I play with my kid and all. So I will tell you, you also should try to make yourself busy in the activities which make you distress. And the fifth point is routine checkup. Yes, everybody after the age of 40 should do a routine checkup. Checkup like blood sugar, blood pressure, then cholesterol. These are the risk factors which are there, which can lead to blockage in the arteries. So after the age of 40, everybody should do this checkup. So if you follow these 5 steps, that is, one is exercise, that is walk. Second is a nutrition, that is a healthy diet. Third is habit, that is no smoking, no to tobacco. Fourth is stress, we should avoid stress. And fifth is routine checkup. And if you have any medical disease, then a regular medication for that. If you follow this, we can avoid the risk of heart attack and we can have a healthy life. Yeah, and along with this, I also suggest you people that if you feel like hypertension is one of the most important risk factor. Today's prevalence of hypertension is almost 30%. 30% means the Indian population is 1 crore 30 lakhs. So if we see in that, so 1 in 4, that is 30 crores of the Indian people at present they are having hypertension. So the ratio is 1 in 4, like every one individual out of 4 may be having hypertension. Hypertension is like 50% of the individual are not diagnosed, 50% who are diagnosed, they are not treated, and out of 50% who are treated, only 50% they have the hypertension under control. So hypertension is one of the major risk factor for the cardiac diseases. So I suggest everybody of you that please have a regular checkup of blood pressure after the age of 40. And with the checkup of blood pressure and treating the blood pressure, you can avoid yourself from cardiac issues and hypertension if it is there. And if you don't take medication, not only heart disease, hypertension itself can lead to kidney failure, which is one of a major issue. Again, hypertension, if it is there and you don't take treatment, again it can lead to stroke. As everybody knows that once the stroke is there, then whichever part is affected, that part will not be moved. So hypertension itself can cause major diseases like cardiac diseases, kidney diseases, even neurological, that is stroke. So everybody should have a checkup of hypertension. Even the digital blood pressure machine which comes in the market of any companies like Omron and all, they are very good. You can measure the hypertension, you can measure the blood pressure in this current situation if you are not able to visit your doctors, and you can have a checkup. and there are many online portals from where you can get it verified by the doctors. So yes, hypertension itself is a very important thing. Next thing is diabetes. Yes, diabetes is also one of the risk factor. Almost 50% of the people with diabetes, they have cardiac disease. So diabetes itself affects, they are more prone. Diabetes itself can lead to many issues, and diabetes, it is a multi-system disease, and it can affect heart, it can affect your kidneys, it can affect your eyes. So there are microvascular and macrovascular complications it can lead. So diabetes should also be under control. Next important risk factor is cholesterol. Yes, everybody of us in some or the other part of our life, we have a high cholesterol. To avoid this, as I have already told in the beginning, that you should do daily walk, have a nutritious diet, regular exercise, yogas. These are the things which can help you to reduce the cholesterol. And yes, every 6 months to 1 year, you can have a checkup of your lipid profile, and you can consult with your doctor regarding that if the values are high. And with the treatment, even if you keep the cholesterol low, it will also avoid many major effects like the cardiac disease, the heart attacks, the blockages in the arteries, which occurs if the cholesterol is high for a long period of time. So as we know, the risk factors for the heart, they are diabetes, hypertension, kidney disease, cholesterol. Yes, one of the most important risk factor is stress. Stress is also one of the risk factor which can lead to all this. So we should avoid stress. And next important is exercise, as I have told you. So that should be done regularly. Yes, some of the things are there which is as age increases, the risk of heart attack and heart diseases also increases. So as I have told in the beginning that after the age of 40, we should have a regular checkup for these things to avoid this. Now, common persons may have a difficulty like everybody. If you get a chest pain, is it because of heart or not? Yes. So there are some typical points from which you can make out that the chest pain is because of heart or not, and whether to consult a doctor or not. If any chest pain in any individual after the age of 40, you should have a consultation with any of your doctor, because after the age of 40, the risk increases. Below 40, the risk is less. So any chest pain after 40 needs to be evaluated. And how you will be able to know that chest pain is significant or not? If you get a chest pain which is associated with sweating or with exertion, like with doing work, if the pain increases, and by taking rest, if the pain reduces. So this is called as a typical chest pain. So what we define as angina. So if you have a chest pain which aggravates or increases with work and which gets relieved with rest, so this is a significant pain. Many times we can get this chest pain even without having any heart issues, which we see in our practice. Almost say 60 to 70% of the times the young individuals, they have a chest pain. It can occur even due to the muscular reason, due to anxiety. Again, it can occur if you have a acidity issue. So these are the common causes in which you can get a chest pain. So these are the things which you should know, that when you should consult a doctor if you have a complaint of chest pain. Any questions from the audience? Okay, next important thing is, yes, some of the times we have uh, some of the times like when we check for the lipid profile, that is cholesterol, we see many times in our practice that young individuals, say 31, 32 years of old, comes with a lipid profile, and when we check the lipid profile, we see the cholesterols are high. Then the next question the patient will have with us is, when we tell them to start the medicine, then they will ask us, is it to be taken lifelong? This is the common question which I usually fail from the patients. So cholesterol is such a thing that for which the treatment is not like lifelong. Many times the cholesterol which comes, the treatment is just for 3 months, like 1 to 3 months is the minimum duration in which the cholesterol comes down. And after that, we can stop the medicines for cholesterol, and you have to follow a healthy life, what I have told already in the beginning. That is walk 30 minutes, exercise, low fat diet. These are the things which you have to follow. Yes, in case of cholesterol, there is a one term called as familial hypercholesterolemia. That is in another language. Many people, they have a family history of cholesterol. So yes, in those peoples, once we treat the cholesterol, then we stop the medicines after 3 months. We get a repeat lipid profile, it comes normal. Then after 3 months, again we get a lipid profile, again the cholesterol comes high. So yes, in such situations or in such peoples, we usually prefer to continue the cholesterol medicines for a prolonged period of time. Uh, so we continue the medicine for a prolonged period of time. And in other cases, like what we see, say 80 to 90% cases, they do not require the regular medicines for cholesterol. So if your cholesterol goes high anytime, you should not get worried. It can be easily treated. The only thing is you should have a checkup where you should come to know that yes, the cholesterol is more, and then you can consult your doctor. But if the cholesterol is less, then there is no issue. Other thing, as I told you, that many times you may get in this present scenario, many times we are seeing the people, they are getting COVID, post-COVID, they are asymptomatic, and then they come to us with a complaint of that the pulse rate is more. Because of this COVID now, everybody of us is having a pulse oximeter at home. And since it is something we have bought, we usually try to check it. And many times we see many people coming to us with a pulse rate. Sir, I'm having a pulse rate of 100, I'm having 105, I'm having 110, I'm having 90, I'm having 80. My pulse is more. What shall I do? Yeah, so there is a question from the audience that how can diabetes affect the heart? So, sir, diabetes is a multi-system disease. Once a person gets diabetes, he is prone not only for heart problem, but he is prone for all the problem. People with diabetes, what happens is there occurs a macrovascular complication. Macrovascular complication means diabetes itself can lead to dyslipidemia, that is increase in the cholesterol in the body. This increased cholesterol over a period of time, say once you detect a diabetes, when a person get diabetes, till say you can say a year, 6 months to a year, he will not have any symptom, he will not come to know. And then later when he comes to know, then the treatment is started. So diabetes is a prolonged disease, it continues continuously. So it leads to deposition of cholesterol in the coronary arteries over a long period of time. Like once you get diabetes, this cholesterol goes on depositing slowly in the coronary arteries, and over a period of time, then you start getting blockages. So whenever we do a angiography of a patient with diabetes, we call it like a diabetic vessels, because they have blockages not at only one place, they have blockages at multiple places. So that's why people with diabetes compared to a normal individual without diabetes, the risk of getting a heart problem is 50%. That's why all the people with diabetes, the guidelines, the American, European, all the guidelines tell us to start a low dose of aspirin, which we usually start with the diabetes peoples as a preventive. So as I was on the next topic where I was telling that many people in this COVID situation, they are coming to us with a complaint of palpitation or high pulse rate. Yes, post-COVID, we have seen this complication. Many people with post-COVID, they get a heart rate which is in the range of 100 to 110. And it is one of the complication of COVID, which comes down over a period of time. So I suggest you not to get worried until and unless you have a symptoms of palpitation. Palpitation means it will be a uncomfortable awareness of one's own heartbeat. That means usually our heart beats, but we don't come to know. But when you are able to feel your heartbeat like tap, 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 if you feel like that, that is called as palpitation. If you're having that issue, then it is a concern. Otherwise, it is not a concern. We have to be cautious, but we don't have to be over cautious. So this is the thing. And yes, now it is already proved that in case of COVID, even if you are asymptomatic, many people they are getting, when we do the CTs, we find that blockages in the pulmonary arteries and a formation of clots. So the guidelines they suggest that any patient with COVID, at least for 4 to 6 weeks, even after he recovers, should be given a low dose of aspirin to prevent the formation of clotting. Anyhow, in hospitals, we are already giving low molecular weight heparins. So the home quarantine peoples and all, I suggest they should consult and they should take at least 4 to 6 weeks of aspirin to avoid this complication. I'm taking Gemmer-1 in the morning, 1 at night, but my previous values has not decreased. Yes, sir. Now, one of the question is that yes, Gemmer-1 is a medicine which contains metformin along with glimepiride. It is a good medicine. In other words, we call this like a poor man diabetic medicine. The medicine is very good. It reduces the blood sugar. If you are not getting control with this, then we have another option, sir, like gliptins, that is sitagliptin, tinagliptins. These are the DPP-4 inhibitors. They are a little bit costly, but they are good drugs. They help in reducing the blood sugar, even the HbA1c. So you can consult your doctor, sir, and you can have a prescription for this. So as we are on the topic, so next thing is many people they ask that once we get a hypertension, so do we need to continue the medicines regularly? See, hypertension is one condition where once the blood pressure comes, yes, we have to continue the treatment, and taking treatment solves major issues. We see hypertension in youngs and in olds. Yes, people who have hypertension below 40, they can try to have a healthy life as the new guidelines they suggest us not to start treatment at 120 by 80. 120 by 80 above, we call this like pre-hypertension. Above 130 by 80, according to the American guideline, we call this as hypertension. But European guidelines still suggest us to start treatment only above 140 by 90. And that is the range what we follows. The Indian doctors, usually we don't start treatment before that. So for hypertension to reduce, you can have 3-4 things. One is a daily exercise, as I have told you, 30 minutes walk. Second is a low salt diet. Low salt means not to stop salt. Salt is required for life. So less amount. That means don't put from up. And third is if you are smoking, stop smoking. And fourth is exercise. If you follow this, say 10 to 20 millimeters of the blood pressure can reduce with this. And even if it's still you can't able to reduce it or the values are more, then we have to start the treatment for hypertension. And once the treatment is started, you have to continue it and you can have a regular follow-up. So this is regarding the hypertension, which is one of the risk factor, as I've already told you. There are many studies again going on about this. So these are the common things which should be avoided for heart. To have a healthy heart, as I've told you, if you have a healthy diet, healthy exercise, regular checkups, so you can try to avoid it. Any other questions from audience? Yes, the one of the most important thing is like heart attack. Yes, how we can come to know that patient is having a heart attack? Yes, so whenever any patient who complains of a chest pain, and suppose if the pain is not getting relieved by taking the medicines for that is the gas. Sometimes whenever we get a chest pain, we feel nobody thinks it will be attack. We think that it may be due to gas or it may be a muscular pain. We try to consult a local doctor. We take the things and then we take acidity medicine. We take a painkillers. Then after that also, if it doesn't get relieved, then we try to think. So I suggest anybody who gets a chest pain, you should get a ECG done. ECG is one of the basic tests which is easily available everywhere and it throws a lot of picture. So once you get a chest pain and if it is not getting relieved with the medicines what you have taken from local doctor, please get a ECG done because the earliest changes that start coming after getting a heart attack is the ECG, which is easily available and can be easily picked up. So ECG is the basic test which needs to be done and which should be done. I get palpitation when I'm more tense, especially during night. That's please rest. Yes, one of the question has come from audience that he get that when you get more palpitations in the night when you want to go to sleep. Yes, this is one of the symptom of anxiety. Whenever anybody has a anxiety, what happens is her heart starts beating fast. The person will start feeling high pulse rate. That is, the pulse rate will go more. The heart rate will go more. Then he will start feeling palpitation because he is anxious. So in that situation, then the need for the oxygen increases in the blood, and then he may face a difficulty in breathing. So palpitation, difficulty in breathing, followed with lack of sleep. These are all the common symptoms of anxiety. So in our daily practice, we see at least out of 10, 1 to 2 persons will come with this complaint. I usually suggest them that this is only anxiety. I give them a antidepressant for just 4 to 5 days, try to convince them, counsel them, tell them what they should do. And maximum times, many people, they respond to this therapy. So these are the things which should be followed. See, next question has come from audience that he has a 210 cholesterol. Should I take medicine? See, till 200 the cholesterol level is normal. At the 210 we don't usually start medication. You should only follow a lifestyle modification. As I have told, diet, you should have daily walk. Then in case of food, you should avoid the oily food stuff. You should avoid the non-veg, that is chicken and meat. They have highest cholesterol. Egg, you should only have the white, yellow part you should not have. You should have more of fruits, more of vegetables, then the chapati, then normal sabji. These are the things what you should have more, and little bit of exercise, sir. That's what you require for 210 cholesterol. Does COVID affect heart? Yes, COVID is a system. COVID, yes. In case of COVID, as I've already told you, that it has a tendency to make the clots in the body. These clots can be formed anywhere. They can be in the lung, they can be in the heart. Even studies have shown that in long terms they are going into the brain also. So yes, COVID can affect heart, sir. Yes, sir. So somebody has asked, can I eat biscuits and eggs in bile reflex? Yes, sir. You can have it. There is no issue. Can we give water to the person while heart attack? Yes, somebody has asked, can we give water to the person during heart attack? Yes, you can give water. There is no problem in giving water. But the most important thing when a person gets a heart attack or you feel it is a heart attack is you should ask for a medical help and you should shift the person to the hospital as early as possible. Is everybody need to take medicine? Can I be cured fully of the hypertension disease? Yeah, now one of the audience have asked that if somebody is having hypertension, do we need to take medicine? So my personal opinion is if your blood pressure values are above 140/90 regularly, see for hypertension to confirm, we usually take 3 readings at 3 different occasions. If all the 3 readings goes above 140/90, and if the patient along with that is having a symptom like a headache, redness of eyes, is getting angry for small things very quickly. So these are the symptoms along with the reading. We see both and then we start medicine for hypertension. So what I suggest is that if your BP readings are more and it is constantly more, so it is always better to start medication. After medication, try all the lifestyle modification, and then according to that, we can reduce the dose of medicine. And we have seen many times people who follow a healthy style, we have seen even the medicine does get stopped. So next question is there any permanent treatment for thyroid problem? So now the issue is hypothyroidism, like thyroid disorder. Thyroid is a gland which secretes a hormone which is necessary for our body. So people who gets hypothyroidism, the thyroid gland stops secreting the hormone which is called as thyroxine. So whatever medications we give, these medications are a hormone. So if you develop a thyroid, then you need to take the medication regularly, or in other words for lifelong, because it cannot be changed with exercise and all, because it is a disease where the gland fails to secrete the hormone and we require that hormone for our body. So if you develop a hypothyroidism, you have to take the medicines regularly. So this is the only treatment for hypothyroidism, madam. So next question from audience is 130/90 treated as a high BP? As I told in the beginning of talk only, sir, that 130/90, we consider it like above 120 to 130, we consider as pre-hypertension. 130/90 is a hypertension according to American guideline, but according to European guideline, till 140/90, we don't start treatment. So 130/90 is not a high hypertension. I still consider it like a pre-hypertension, and we ask them to do the lifestyle modification and not to start any treatment. Sir, past 2 years I'm suffering with excess gas problem and acid reflux. Sometimes my heartbeat goes to 150 and when I do ECG it shows normal. Is this due to only gases or any? Yes. See, whenever you get the next question is a very good question, that if somebody has a acidity, during acidity he feels that his heart rate is very high, and when the person goes and takes the ECG, the heartbeat comes normal. So, do you have any heart disease? No. This is called as GERD, that is gastric esophageal reflux disease. So we see many cases with such problems. So for this, the best treatment is you should take any proton pump inhibitor. These are the medicines which are available in the market, which we doctors usually prescribe. Even the gastroenterologist they prescribe. You can take that medicine. Along with that, you can have a food on a regular time, like a fixed time for a breakfast, fixed time for a lunch, and fixed time for a dinner. Like say between 7 to 9 in the morning for breakfast, 12 to 2 for lunch, and say between 7 to 9 for dinner. If you follow this, then the reflex get too much control, sir. So usually if you have this issue, you can just get a basic ECG done, and that will be more than enough, sir. And as you have already told, ECG is normal. At the most, you can do a stress, sir. My wife suffering one year chest pain continuously. Mammography report normal. Nine doctors opinion, but no pain control. Yeah. Now see, in case of females, it is very common to get a chest pain, and as females are always blessed, and even God has done this differentiation between males and females. Usually, females till the age of 45, the chances of them getting a heart attack or heart problem is very less. This is because of a natural protection of a hormone which females have, that is called as estrogen. So till the females they have their regular periods or menses, the chances of them getting a heart attack is very less. So next. Angiogram report shows mild LAD, mild irregularities with myocardial. When you took to medicine, triazole C for lifelong. Yeah, so the next question from audience is, one of the patient has got a mild disease in the LAD and it is showing yes. So sir, myocardial bridging is a condition in which the vessel of the heart, it passes from the muscle of the heart. So heart, it contracts every second. So whenever the heart contracts, that blood vessels get contracted with the movement of the heart with the muscle, and the person he develops a chest pain. Once the movement goes back, the chest pain goes. So your question is, do you need to take this Razel CV for lifelong? So yes sir, since there is a mild LAD plaque, so it is better to take one antiplatelet with a statin lifelong, sir. See, now the next question from audience is, what is the ideal heart rate? So the ideal heart rate is, or in another word, the pulse rate and heart rate both are one and the same. So the ideal is between 60 to 100. So less than 60 is called as bradycardia, that is low. Above 100 is called as tachycardia, that is more. Whenever we walk, we run, we jog, the pulse rate will go above 100. So nothing to worry. Once we take a rest, it comes back to normal. Suppose if the pulse rate is going more without doing exercise, just by sitting, if it is going above 100, then it needs to be evaluated, sir. So one of them has asked that, is there any treatment for the cyst? So see, usually the cyst means it is a collection of fluid which occurs. It can occur any organ of the body. So cyst, if it is not causing any symptom to you, so usually you can leave it, sir. But suppose if you are getting fever, you are getting other symptoms, you are getting pain, then that needs to be removed by operation. So the next question from audience is, how accurate is the Omron BP? See, whichever digital apparatus available in the market right now, any standard company BP apparatus is pretty fair enough. We as a doctors, we previously used to measure the blood pressure with the mercury one, but then the mercury got banned, then the electronics have come. So this electronic BP machines all say there is a slightly variation of 10 millimeters, sir. Otherwise, they are much accurate. You can trust on them. I'm overweight 110 kg. Sometimes my heart rate shows as 75, sometimes. Yes. The next question is that a person is a patient is having a heart rate between 75 to 95. Is it normal? Yes, sir. It is absolutely normal. As I have told, between 60 to 100, the pulse rate, if it is in this range, it is normal. You should not worry. So the next question from audience is that 34-year-old gentleman, he feels sometimes cramp in the chest. Is it a serious concern? See, sir, well, as I have told in the beginning only, that since your age is less than 40, but you feel that you get a chest pain, as I have told, you can just do a ECG, which is a basic test. And after doing the ECG, further things we can decide what to do next. Next, any questions? So next question is, next question is, hello doctor, since past few days I have observed my heart beating fast. Also, like to share what yeah. So the next question is yes. So as the fast heart rate question is being asked, so once a person he starts, he has a sleep apnea, that is we called as a sleep apnea is a term in which the person is using a BiPAP machine. So these people they are prone to get a high heart rate, and nothing to worry with that. As you take the BiPAP, the CPAP machines, the heart rate it reduces. How much time it will take to recover from swelling in my large intestine? Recover from swelling in my large intestine. So the next question from audience is how much time it will take for a large swelling from intestine to recover. So, sir, I will suggest you to get a sonography done, and from the sonography, we'll come to know that what exactly you are having and what will be the recovery for that. So next question is, can GRD, yes, GRD or gases, yes, when you have acidity or GRD, the reflex, it can lead to a slight pain in your left hand, or it can mimic like a symptoms of a heart attack. It is very common. Next. I answer that. Yes, it can cause a left hand pain. Any other questions? Yeah. So, so as I have told you that these are the things which are very necessary and important. As I told that even if you don't have any symptom, even if you don't have BP, sugar, diabetes, hypertension, asthma, which are the common problems, if you're not having, still doing daily 30 minutes walk is a very good habit. You can have a healthy life and you should follow that. Then again from the diet I have told you should follow the diet thing also, that helps. And most important is we should reduce our weight. We should keep our BMI and weight according to the BMI. If you follow that, many things can be, you can have a healthy heart. These are the things which are very important. And next thing is again, which I want to tell is many times persons they get a heart attack, they come to us, they get treated, we do angiography, we put a stent, we do angioplasty, they become absolutely normal and they go home. That is the magic of cardiology. But the most important thing is we give some medications which are to be taken regularly. Many people after getting well, they feel why now I am fine, why I should take the medicine. And then they stop taking the medications. We usually prescribe antiplatelets, blood thinners, statins, so that the stent should not get blocked. So I suggest everybody that once the medication is being started, consult your doctors, take their advice, don't stop the medicines. If you stop the medicines, the chances of stent getting blocked are very high. The next question is whether having chest pain and shoulder pain after going to angiogram result came as mild. Is using thermoplastic for BP. We need to use this tablets for lifetime. Yes. So the next question is yes, sir. As your mother is having a mild CAD, so she has to take one blood thinner and statin lifelong. So the Ecosprin AV, what you have written is she needs to continue, and Telma 40 is the medicine what is being started for the blood pressure. So that she needs to continue. only with a regular follow-up, we will be come to know whether we need to reduce the doses of this medicine. The next question is okay, as you have told about left pain in the abdomen and you are having a carcinoma, what medicines to use? So usually you may be on the other medicines for that treatment, madam. So what I suggest you is, if you are getting this pain, you can try with proton pump inhibitors, as I have told, that is pantoprazole, rabeprazole. These are the salts, that is the medicines which you can try. These medicines will help you. So as I was telling about the medication, yes, so people, doctor's question after diagnosis of diverticulosis with rectal thickening, how much time it will take to recover expected? See, this is a inflammation of the diverticulum and thickening. So usually it takes 4 to 6 weeks, sir, for any inflammatory condition to get resolved completely. That is 1 to 1.5 months. That will be the time required. So next, as I was telling that anybody who has got a stent done, he should at least continue the medication whatever prescribed by doctor at least for 1 year. However, the doctor has prescribed, he should visit the treating doctor one at first 1 week after the operation, then at 1 month, then every 3 months till 1 year, and after that every 6 months is the recommended which is necessary. After 1 year of the treatment, we usually reduce the medication. Till 1 year, the medications are more because that is the time required for the stent to become part of the body. After 1 year, the medicine doses are reduced. So I usually tell my patients that please continue the medicines. Even if you don't visit me, not an issue, but continue the medicines. LED blockage 90% delivering angiogram and doctor advised stent quality and appointment dates are not confirmed. Can this be delayed as a person is stable with? So yes, as one next question from audience is that LED is having 90% disease and stenting is being advised. So what should be done? Yes, see, LED is the main blood vessel. It supplies almost 85% of the heart, and if it is 90% blocked and patient is stable, that is good. But the stenting, that is angioplasty, should be done as early as possible, because we don't know when this 90% will become 100, and once it becomes 100, he will have a major heart attack, and then we don't know whether we will get the time to reach the hospital and whether doctor will be available at the same time. So what I suggest is, once your angiography is done, you know it's 90% blocked, already he's on medication, try to do it as early as possible. And have BP with sugar on border, having muesli with milk good for her, and doing lunch, as both are on a mission to lose her weight. Question: Hi sir, when checking for pulse rate, it shows above 100, like 100 times so level 100. Is that okay? Yes. As I've told in the beginning only, that because of the COVID, now maximum of the peoples are having the pulse oximeter at the home. So the pulse rate, as I've told, 60 to 90 is the normal range. As you have told, it is 110, 120, and then slowly it comes to 100. Is that okay? As I have told, sir, in the beginning only, that if you are not having palpitation, that is, if you don't feel your heartbeat like tap, 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 then nothing to worry. If you feel that, then you have to worry. Next thing is, please get your thyroid hormones checked. Thyroid is one of the, again, cause where we get such things. So get a ECG, get a thyroid hormone. These are the two basic things need to be done. So coming to the topic, so as I have told that post stenting, these are the cares what we have to take. Then next is that is many times we see the older peoples, they have a heart rate in the range of say 60 or below 60. My mother is taking till my age 40. Is it possible to reduce the dose of drug? Yeah, it is always possible to reduce the dose of drugs, sir. What you need to do is you need to check the blood pressure. Depending upon the blood pressure, we can decide about the dose of the telma, sir, whether to reduce or to not. So you need to check the blood pressure. Check the blood pressure for 1 week, daily, morning and evening. Make a record and then just show it to your doctor. He will help you out with that, sir. Yeah, now next question is left side chest pain. As I have told in the beginning only, all left side chest pain means not that it is a heart attack only or related to heart. As I told many times, it can be because of anxiety, because of exertion, because of lifting heavy weight can be because of acidity, gases. So how we can rule out is, as I've told, the basic medicines we give and we ask for ECG. So these are the basic tests. If your age is more than 40, get ECG immediately. If it is less than 40, you can try one day medicine and then get it. I am age 35 years and 95 kg. In chest pain due to mild CAD with myocardial bridge in every lead to heart attack. Is this can be fixed by stent or anything else? No, sir. As I have told in the beginning only, myocardial bridge is a condition where the blood vessel goes from the muscle of the heart. So for this, we have medication. For this, stent is not required. We don't put stent in this condition. If the stent is put with the contraction, it will get fracture and cause more trouble. So for myocardial bridge, the treatment is medical management and stenting is not required. So as I was talking is, any further questions? So I will continue my talk. So as I've told that post stenting, these are the precautions what you have to take. And once the stent is being put, any surgeries or any procedures, they should be avoided at least for the initial 6 months. You can't do it until and unless it is an emergency situation. After 6 months, if it is required, you can do it. But fairly the good part, the safe is after 1 year. You can do it, not before that. Next, any questions? Yeah. Sir, can I eat boiled egg regularly for protein intake? Affect my cholesterol, heart health. Yeah. So the next question is yes. As I've told in the beginning only, the white part of the egg doesn't contain cholesterol. Yellow part contains high level of cholesterol. So what I suggest is, if you want to eat more, you can eat the white. Yellow part you can keep minimum. So the next question is, the heartbeat is 115 at the morning. As I have told sir that 115 is little bit high, but if she is not getting palpitation, nothing to worry. Second thing is, if the rate is continuously above 100, then you please check her thyroid hormones and get a ECG. So next I will like to talk about palpitation, as I'm seeing many questions coming on the heart rate. And I told in the beginning only that because of the pulse oximeter, now everybody is able to check the heart rate. So as I have told, palpitation is an uncomfortable awareness of one's own heartbeat. Heart rate normal is between 60 to 100, less than 60 brady, more than 100 tachy. These are the conditions. If any person who gets this palpitation or he feels his heart rate is more, he should consult a doctor. We usually try to do the basic test. First is ECG, second is a thyroid hormone. Many people who, when they get thyroid, so this one of the symptoms is this palpitation which we see, and just by treating the thyroid hormone, it gets normal. Next test we like to do is even anemia. If your hemoglobin, that is the blood levels, are low, you can get this symptom. So these are the three basic tests which needs to be done, which can solve the issues. Next is, I am 48-year-old, take 25 milligram thyroid tablet and recently stopped taking BP tablet on Saturday, as it is normal as I gone down 12 kgs, but I do diet and I walk 5 to 6 kilometers weekly twice in this week. Effect by heart and suggestion on diet. Yeah. So as I can see that sir, you are 48-year-old and you are taking a thyroid medicines and you were on a antihypertensive which you have stopped. So nothing to worry, sir. As I can see that your blood, you just regularly maintain your blood pressure. Try to check it initially, sir, because since you are on a almost at 20 milligram, so since you have reduced the weight, so that is good. That can cause the blood pressure to go down. Have a regular check on your BP, and since you are doing walk, that is also good. Since you are having a thyroid, I suggest you to check your cholesterol. People with thyroid, they are more prone to get the cholesterol problems, high lipids. So please check that. I think that will be more than enough, sir. And diet, as I have told you, sir, diet should be low in fat and carbohydrate and rich in protein. Sir, any specific food we need to take for better health of heart? Yeah, this I have already told that, sir. Uh, Low sugar foods which contains low carbohydrate, low sugar, low fat, and rich protein food. If you follow this food, this is the best food or best diet what you can do, so that you will be saved from many problems like hypertension, diabetes, and even from many heart issues. In my business, anxiety. Hi, sir. Are the blockages are reversible? No, sir. Once you get a blockages in the heart, they are not reversible. If they are less than 70%, we manage with medications. If they are above 70%, if it is stentable, we put a stent. Or if there are blockages at many places, the next treatment is bypass. Blockages are never reversible, sir. We can prevent them further from growing with the medications and lifestyle. Yeah, so the next question is from audience. Yes, he is suffering from a palpitation and the ECG has shown second level of heart block. So as I told you, sir, as you have mentioned that there is a second degree of heart block. So second degree of heart block is a condition, sir. It is of two types. One is 2:1 and 1:2. So in this heart block, sir, if you are having any symptoms, symptoms means if you are getting this weakness, giddiness, then that is a important thing. Then you need to be evaluated further and then the further treatment changes accordingly. But if you're not having symptoms and only heart block 2:1 is there in ECG, then you can wait, sir. Roadside running every day 6 kilometers per day. Yeah, the next question from audience is, do you recommend a roadside running 6 kilometers per day? Now, see, as I have told you, sir, you should do a exercise. From exercise or from walk, we means that we should not have a sedentary lifestyle. So depending upon your body capacity, you can do 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, however you're possible, you can do it. But I think 3 to 4 kilometers is maximum, sir. That's what I feel, depending upon your age and body capacity, sir. Okay, so next coming to the other thing for the healthy heart is on this day of this is what we should do further. So many things I have told in the beginning, and further also I continue that we should always try to avoid the things which is avoidable. There are the risk factors which are called as avoidable and unavoidable. So diet, exercise, then reducing BP, then along with that nutrition, routine checkups, stress, these are all avoidable risk factors which can be avoided by changing our lifestyle. But there are some other factors which are called as non-modifiable risk factor or unavoidable. That is hereditary, then genes, like our fathers having heart disease. So yes, we can get that from them. So these are the unmodifiable risk factors. But what we can do is at least we can try to avoid the modifiable risk factors. So which is in our hand is our diet, our exercise, our food, stress, routine checkup. These are the five things which are there in our hands, and by avoiding these things, maximum things can be avoided. So, what I feel the maximum things or the diseases which are very much prone to affect the heart is hypertension, diabetes, thyroid, cholesterol. So out of this hypertension, diabetes, thyroid, these are the three major diseases which we always see that people with this, they are always associated. Thyroid itself can lead to diabetes, can lead to high cholesterol, and in a reverse way, thyroid lead to blockages. So here's a question from audience. Hi sir, since I have mild LED with myocardial breach LED, can I do running exercise as before with heartbeat up to 90? Yes. So the question is yes, sir. If you are having a myocardial breach and you want to do exercise and walking, you can usually do it. If your heartbeat goes up, nothing to worry, sir. Whenever it goes up, you just take rest. What all of us we do after exercise, it will come to normal. There is no risk for myocardial breach with the heart rate, sir. Yes, as I have told in the beginning only, that anemia is one of the reason or one of the cause because of which you can get palpitation. So one of the question is from audience that hemoglobin 9.7 level is there. So and he's having a fast heartbeat. So yes, it is possible. You please try to get treated the hemoglobin with your doctor. That is, try to take the medications, usually the iron tablets, what we give at this level. If you take for 1 to 3 months, 3 months is the maximum period in which the hemoglobin will come to normal. Again, you can take in diet foods which are rich in iron like apple, pomegranate, then groundnut, jaggery. These are the foods which are having high iron contents, and it also helps in increasing the hemoglobin. So yes, yeah. So as I was telling in the beginning, so these are the things what we have to follow to have a healthy heart, and it is all in our hand. We should at least spare 30 minutes in a day for ourselves. Whatever busy schedules or whatever we have, we should at least use spend 30 minutes for us for doing our walking, doing exercising, yoga, gym, whatever you or we can do is at least we should everybody of us should spend 30 minutes for our own good health, because in this busy schedule many times it happens we are busy in our work or whatever the business, like we doctors are busy in our profile, we work for long times, we get tired. You may be seeing many doctors, they suffer from many issues, but now it's the time that we all should try to have a time for ourselves, because if we are healthy then only we can have a healthy life. So exercise is a very important, in another word the new term has come. If you have a sedentary lifetime or you are not doing exercise, the damage what you will get is same as a damage what you will get from smoking. That's what a new term. So that's why you may be seeing whenever you visit any doctor nowadays, we are seeing many times that everybody is prescribing or telling us to do exercise. The only thing is we should not have a sedentary lifestyle, which is a very important thing for having a healthy heart. Then coming to the another things is many times if you take more of the foods with more of the fats and all, then that is possibility that you may get high cholesterol and other things. So these are the things which are very important and which need to be followed. And I can see that are the things I think which is very important. So nowadays in this it has become very easy. You can have all these things checked, and at least once in a year after the age of 40 you should get your routine checkup done, which is very important and which will help to solve many things in the beginning only if it is coming. Next question from audience is, I'm suffering from heart, I'm suffering breathing troubles and difficult to breathe at night. Please guide and subject medicine bypass surgery. Yeah. So see, sir, as you are telling that the bypass surgery is done in 2015 and you are having difficulty in breathing. So yes, post bypass, this is very common. I suggest you to visit your cardiologist, get your 2D echo done. Let him know your heart function, because many people after bypass the heart function, that is the pumping of heart, is affected because of the heart attack or ischemic heart disease. And if you drink more water and don't take medicines, then this possibility happens. So if you are getting breathlessness, I suggest please have less than 2 liter water daily. First thing. Second thing, get your echo done. Third, visit your cardiologist. Your problem will get solved. Six, however, have been able to feel my heartbeat since past few days, and the same person who uses CPAP machine as having. Okay, anything to worry about, doctor? Yes, as I have told that, sir, the 96 pulse rate is normal. Nothing to worry with that. But if you are feeling your own heartbeat at that level, then I suggest you to please get a ECG done once, which is important. And on the basis of ECG and on the basis of thyroid reports and other things, we can decide what need to be done further. So I suggest that these are the main things which need to be followed. So once again, I will tell you the 5 points which you need to follow. One is exercise, second is nutrition, third is no habit, that is no smoking, no tobacco. Fourth is no stress, say no to stress, avoid stress, do activities, hobbies in which you feel better to avoid stress. And fifth is a routine checkup, that is routine checkup of the blood pressure, sugar, and cholesterol. These things, if you do, then I think this is the maximum what we can do to keep our heart healthy and trying to avoid the other heart issues. Because next question, anything else that ends on the positive. So on this World's Heart Day, I, Dr. Harshad, will try to give a message to everybody to have a healthy heart. And in the beginning, I have told, and I will conclude these 5 points everybody should follow. If you follow that, that is first is exercise daily 30 minutes at least. 5 days in a week. Second is nutrition, that is diet, a healthy diet, low in fat, low in sugar, and high in protein. Third, as I told you, is no habitat, that is no smoking, no to tobacco. Fourth is avoid stress. And fifth is routine checkup of the blood pressure, sugar, and cholesterol. If you follow these 5 points, trust me, 90 to 80 to 90%, you will avoid all the major issues. So with this, I would like to conclude. Thank you, everybody.